Well, Amy and I, we're all heading home to Ontario for the weekend. We're heading home to Ontario for the weekend. Had a good day at the Meadows. Had a pretty good day. Pretty decent week. Who? Not yet. Next year. So I wanted to, Amy and I want to talk about, forced Amy to talk about, here.
Oh, no, that's okay.
It forced Amy to talk about the babies, because we did go with for the most part, all the Ohio horses, the horses in Ohio, this week. Now, for my partners out there with, what's that little guy's name? Chappie. Grand old chap. He had a little temperature, but he hasn't hit the trot yet anyway. I'll continue to refresh for everybody. You're just going to have to bite your tongue. I don't really know. It's been challenging to get this guy to trot, but I'm confident between his God-given gait, his breeding, and his good attitude. If he had a bad attitude, I'd be concerned, but he's got a great attitude, and I'm not. So, aside from him, I don't think there's a whole lot of other horses that missed their training. Baby Set was a little sick this week. She missed it. But we do plan on getting those horses out Monday. Not Chap, but Baby Set for sure out Monday. Everybody will be out videoed for you on Monday. Now, I'm not going to give you a 2-year-old video this week because we're going to do it right now. I will give you an update also tomorrow. We are droning tomorrow in Ontario. And we are videoing Monday. Now, usually would go Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday would have been preferable, but it's going to rain Tuesday in Northfield. Now, the weather in Cleveland changes hourly, it seems, drastically too. But I'm not going to roll the dice on a video day, so we're probably just going to go with Monday, which is always a little challenging because Sunday they're off, right? So Monday they're feeling themselves pretty good, a little sharp, maybe a little disobedient, got some renegades out. That will happen. But we'll do our best to get them around on Monday and get them back into the swing of things. Just as I said to Amy and everybody there, don't expect them to go out and do their work right this week. You know, as I said to Amy in a text message, I said, would you like to be Adeline's teacher this week when all those little kids go back to school? No. And it's the same with the babies. They haven't trained and been, worked they haven't been in a normal routine for a couple of weeks, maybe even 3 weeks now. So this week they were going to be acting up, and we got a good look at maybe some changes we want to make on some horses, which we'll also do this week. So, without further ado, we're going to talk about all the 2-year-olds. Now, the Ontario ones, I think mostly will defer because I haven't got any bad reports from anybody. The only thing Danny said was we castrated Gaslight Hall, and Danny said if you wanted to, you could castrate Chicago Hall, and we may do that, right? But as I said to Danny, usually when they're acting up, one, they've been off like they were at Christmas time, never had that real strict training regimen. 2, he said that he gets shot and he was starting to get a little out of gear, and I said, well, they might have chopped a lot of toes off him. I don't know. I hadn't talked to Preston about the horse and hadn't assessed him myself today either. So we'll see tomorrow. For the most part, though, those 10 horses, those 10 babies in Ontario, I've got great reports coming out of Ontario for them. So we're going to talk about all the other ones that went down this week. Obviously, Allie's got Grit, and the other Illinois bred are still with Mystery. So I don't know. He said he has been training them. He may have been more than we've been so far with them. It just seems like this year we've been kind of dragging our feet a little bit. Every year they're ready to go June 15th for the most part. So with much less days missed in Ohio, I can't imagine there's going to be any issues. It feels like we're going along fine. We're just maybe a step behind where we are with some of them this time of year, which I have zero concerns. Not one concern in the world. So, Ava wanted to use the bathroom, didn't she? Is it this one we get off Peachtree? Yeah. So I want to get talking about all the horses. Allie's got Grit, as I said. Illinois, all I've got is good reports out of there also, so both Ontario and Illinois. All check marks so far, from what I've been told. Arrowhead Hanover he was in that last wave of horses. I know Amy said he was acting bad this week and he may need castrated. He might be on the last ship to Castration Island. I like this colt. I like him a lot. But the one thing I've noticed with the International Money's, they don't mind boxing a couple of them. Right? We had that ignorant little bugger last year that near tore Lawrence head off. We've had a couple. The guy that struck me in the eye, he's an International Money. They're boxers. I don't like that. But Arrowhead Hanover hasn't done any of that, but he has got a little streak in him too. So I'll leave it alone for now. Is it this one here? Watford Beach Street? Yeah, this is the one. We'll leave it alone for right now, but Arrowhead Hanover, I said, maybe pencil into Amy's castration list. Hasn't made it on the mind just yet. Now, did you go with Arrowhead Hanover? Who went with him? Addie, can you turn that down, sweetie? Yeah, maybe pull the list up also. So Arrowhead Hanover, he's been great. I mean, the horse got slick, real soft gait. I really like Arrowhead Hanover and always have. Atronet just had an OCD out. Did not train this week, but will be in. Jason McGinnis.
Set 4.
Did you see him go? I wasn't there yesterday for set 4. Don't remember him?
I think he was fine.
Yeah. Atronet had an OCD out, both her and Aunt Lily, and they did not train this week, but they will be going on Monday in the sets. And they're right beside each other, Atronet and Aunt Lily. I like both these fillies. I think they both bright futures.
Weird.
I say Aunt Weird? What do I say?
Aunt
Lily.
Aunt Lily.
Aunt Lily. Say Aunt Willie. Aunt Lily? Aunt Lily? I don't know. Both the same. Who cares?
Okay.
Tomato. Atronet, as I said, both her and Aunt Lily have been good. We just popped that little OCD out that may cause trouble down the road, but has not caused any thus far.
What was that musty subway we went to?
That's exactly what it is, yeah. I don't know if you'd seen you throw the musty at them, but okay. Baby Zet, she loses her gait a little bit. You know who she does? Every year I throw around Austral Hanover all the time. He does. Remember Austral Hanover did this? He used to run all the time.
I didn't even really judge her.
She has nothing. That's what he used to. He used to get soft behind and get pacey and run.
She's been sick too. So
she's been sick. I like her gait, and I think once she strengthens up, we're all going to like her gait. She's got a real nice gait, that filly, and I don't mind her attitude at all. She's just trying to work through some issues. Hey, if you can go in, use the bathroom here. I don't think I'd give this 5 stars in the bathroom either.
Remember the people that were in here last time?
Hey, whoa, we're on a video here. They were of the dirty variety. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill. We just
got
castrated.
gelded, so he didn't go.
Yeah, but he's going on Monday.
Started out very good.
No, Bluebird Tuxedo Hill didn't go, but Bluebird Tuxedo Hill is one of our fastest horses right now. So I'm certainly not worried about Bluebird Tuxedo Hill. There's nobody in there today. Blue Ventura was sick also. He didn't train, but he'll be going Monday. It'll be easy to make a slow set horses that were. I can think there's 5 right there that can win that set. When you look at Blue Ventura, he was one of the most interesting horses to watch on the open house day. Came screaming on the end of it to win and looked very, very good. So I'm very interested to see how he's going to be on Monday. Cadieux was a winner in his set. I know because
I like him.
Mummy won that set with Cadieux. She likes Cadieux. He's got a beautiful gait. He's another one, got a little streak in him. He's made the castration list. And
Saturday.
Tomorrow?
Oh, shoot.
They're supposed to be castrated tomorrow?
Him and Westland.
Westland Warrior, I went with him today. He was great, but he did strike one of the caretakers, which I don't understand because he was fine when I was around him. But if he is a Father Patrick and he's getting a little rude right now, they're like the What the Hills. I'm not going to give them a whole lot of rope. You're on a short leash, and certainly when you start striking at grooms, that rope's run out. So Westland Warrior, I guess, and Cadieux are going to be castrated. The Cadieux thing, I think, is good because if we could keep him how he is right now, that would be awesome. Problem is he gets bigger, stronger, and stuttier. It may start to affect his overall attitude. So I like what I see right now, and I'd like to keep him there. So we are going to castrate him. I think it is Ollie. We are going to keep him. I think it is the right move to make. Captain Incredible, I went with him today. He's learning and getting better. I guess my only concern is he's a big, big boy. Is he going to be pro Northfield, training down all winter long? We'll see. I'm gonna table that. I'm gonna defer that for a few weeks because we certainly have options. Listen, we can do whatever we want with Captain Incredible. I just want to make sure that we're on the straight and narrow with this guy. I like everything I see. He is a little soft in the corners, but he's a big boy. And he's a 2-year-old, but he's a big boy. So you can't really be upset with him, but I am going to keep an eye on it. Now, I'll go with him on Monday. Addie, keep that turned down, sweetheart. Addie. Thank you. Century Legion, we're going to see him tomorrow in Ontario. Danny said he's been great. Chicago Hall again. He said he was a little stubborn, a little rude, but he also thought that he'd shorten his gait up when they shot him. To me, that is, his feet are hurting him a little bit, and he's a little bit frustrated. We can help out with that tomorrow. I said to Danny, toe weights for sure. Need to go on him tomorrow. So message. Yeah, I see that. What? Yeah, they're showing thoroughbred races. Yeah, they do that here in Pennsylvania. Can you message him and tell him I want toe weights on Chicago Hall tomorrow? Danny knows, but I don't know if it got any further than Danny. I don't want to get there and say, I don't know whether there's any toe weights. Hey, can you throw these out for me, honey?
And this.
And I'll give me the chicken place. Go around to Mom's door. They're here.
There's a whole bunch.
Come back and get some more. Mom's got some. Is that it, or do you got a bag there?
Yeah.
No, just take the bag. Little disposal. I like the chicken, but I don't want to smell it the whole way home. There you go. Thank you. Give that to me. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. So where were we here, Amy? You're not really putting a lot of... You're not interjecting a lot, and I haven't given you much of a time, but let's review here. We get Arrowhead.
Century, Chicago, and Cleveland, Marshall.
What about the horses you've gone with? Any
None
of
of those.
You haven't gone with any of them?
Only
okay.
Cadeau.
Cadeau, and you like him a lot. Chicago Hill, as I said, I think it's more of a... so it's hard to explain. You need a little help if he's a little tightly shod, which I mean, you take a lot of toe off him, and it kind of boxes his gait up, and he hurts his feet a little bit. We'll put a little weight on him and help him tomorrow. So I want to get some toe weights on him tomorrow, and probably a set of bell boots. I suspect once we do that, both Danny and the other caretakers will see a little bit different Chicago Hall come tomorrow. I've seen this show before, and pretty sure that's all he needs for right now. Now, the obvious question that you're thinking to ask right now would be, does that fix the problem? His feet are a little bit sore. Well, these are still babies, right? They're still jogging and training, and there's some growing pains going on there. And when it comes to why would they have such a stupid median and then put a no U-turn sign up?
I was wondering what you were doing.
I'm gonna pull Yui right here. This is too dumb.
I don't think
This
so.
is ridiculous. I refuse to follow the law right now. I'm going to coast ahead. When that line comes forward, I'm going to pull a Yui. It's ridiculous. I know we have some retired police officers out there. This median in Pennsylvania is insane. Makes no sense whatsoever. None. Now, the only problem is that this guy's behind me now. Now I don't want to cause any interference. So now I got to make the turn. I've now aborted my U-turn.
No.
Hey, Addie, look.
Why'd you...
Look at that place. One day we're going to go there. Look.
I see it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, eh?
When can we go there?
We'll go there sometime. One of these times we'll stop here.
Oh, the people always there.
Yeah, there's people already there, and there'll be different people there next time we come back, too.
Why?
Because it looks like it's fun. So Chicago Hall, the weight will help this guy, and I'm sure he'll be just fine. Cleveland Masha has hit the gate and looks nice, according to Danny. Said she's doing her work very well, which I figured she would. She's a nice filly. Country Dancing. Have you gone country dancing yet?
No.
Man, she looks so nice on the track. It's funny because we're in the midst of trying to breed our mares, and the last one we have the opportunity to buy a Tall Dark Stranger breeding for Capistrano, but there's some strings attached and a lot of money up front. It's front loaded, which I'm not a big fan of, but it is what it is. We also had the opportunity to buy a Poppy Rob Hanover breeding, which is not front loaded, and I'm in the midst of talking to John about that right now. Obviously, John Evans, his daughter, myself, and Amy, and the kids, we all own the vast majority of Capistrano. Many of you may remember her. She is a lather-up weanling on the ground. She has a lather-up foal in her belly, and we're looking for what the rebreed's going to look like. And I thought that either Tall Dark Stranger or Poppy Rob Hanover, if we could acquire one, would be fine. We've acquired both. We haven't acquired both. We had the opportunity to acquire both. Just trying to figure out which one's better. And the reason I bring this up is because we have Country Dancing, and Country Dancing is a sweet filly on the track. She literally looks like a stud. She is a really, really... Did you see her at all on the track this week?
Yeah, she was in the third.
Jason went with her.
Yeah.
Jason McGinnis. She looked very, very good.
What did I have?
I don't know who you had. I don't know who I had, but I remember talking to Jason when he was going
I
with
had
her.
high hopes.
You and high hopes. I see. Who do we got after? Here, you're going to have to give the list. You're going to be hands
Dancing by myself.
Dancing by Myself. This is Stolen Dances, baby. Looked good on the track day. Amy commented a couple of times the check bit had come out of his mouth. His head was low and the check bit just fell out, and he went with his head really low with the check bit just dangling there the whole time, and it never really bothered him. Looked very good in the training mile. Again, I use the word training kind of loosely. We didn't put a watch on them today because I doubt we beat 3 minutes on either day, but they were all good refreshers. A good training trip for everybody to kind of start them back up. And Dancing by Myself certainly looked very, very good on the track today. Who's next?
The socks.
Dancing in My Socks looked a little pinchy on the right front. Now, he had lost a shoe the other day. It's not so much that he lost the shoe, it's how did he lose the shoe? Did he rip it off? Did he maybe grab himself when he did it? And secondly, how long is that shoe gone for? If he went out on the track, lost the shoe, and come back in, if he jogged 3 miles without that shoe on and his foot is a little sore, that could be what we saw. Now we had the blacksmith put that right front shoe back on. Jason went with him yesterday. I'd say he was 90-95%. Nothing serious. I mean, that's the one thing about this time of year. It's very rare you see any horses get truly injured on the track this time of year. They're just not doing enough work to do so. You'll see horses with OCDs and things that have to be addressed. You'll see curbs. We saw that with Melisandre. We're dealing with a curb with her. And you'll see that with splints, but you don't really see any significant rare occurrences where a horse jumped up or fell down or did something, yes, but just a run-of-the-mill, oh, he cracked a bone, doesn't happen that often this time of year. So really just working out the kinks of everybody and getting them moving forward. So Dancing My Socks, I'm not really that worried about it. Got a nice gait, but I told Jason too, he's a dancing Yankee, right?
Yeah.
They're all really lazy and quiet, and then all of a sudden they turn the corner, and if they want to be crazy, look out. This guy seems like he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders, though. Who do we got next, Dame?
Fire and Shine.
Fire and Shine. You told me Fire and Shine was on the left line a little bit. Is that correct? Yeah, I was going to say, I asked Eric today, he said she was awesome. Foxy.
I dropped Fire and Shine on Tuesday.
Oh, did you? How was she?
She was very good.
Yeah, Eric said she was great. This filly has always had a lot of pop to her. Like, she was really not hot and crazy, but just wiry all the time. Like, always locked on all the time. And she's quietly starting to focus now and chill out a little bit and pay attention, which I knew she would do. Smart filly, good head on her shoulders, and Eric said she was very good in her mile Thursday, I believe. Who's next?
Foxy Seaside.
Foxy Seaside. Now, Amy went with Foxy, so she can fill you in on Foxy.
I thought she did her work really well also. She's, I would say maybe an ear hood would be a good idea.
Foxy, yeah, the down by the Seasides can get a little strong in the face, and I could see Foxy was getting a little sharp. I can't really say what was going on with the left line. I know...
yeah, she was pacing way better. Remember when I went with her at the open house? That was a disaster. She wouldn't pace at all.
It was so funny because I told everybody that hobble burn, I guarantee you that's what it was. She just didn't know what to do with it, and sometimes they really just kind of got to muscle through it, but when they're just babies and they're just learning, it's really hard to ask them just to muscle through it, right? Now that hobble burn's healed up, it's not a big deal at all. That left line, usually this time of year, I would lean towards a splint or something going on with her, maybe just a little bruise in her foot or something. But we'll put a Murphy blind on the outside of Foxy Seaside and she'll be fine. What do we got next?
Freedom Hill went with her.
I know exactly who went with her, Eric. So
Did
Freedom Hill, again, we talk to the horseman of you sometimes, and we talk generally sometimes. Many of you may not understand exactly what a snake court is or what some of the things we're talking about are, and I try to do my best to fill everybody in. Us, me, the stable.ca, when we train down the babies, sure, if they're a little warm, we'll put ear hoods on them and things, but I will not hesitate to put a snake cord on the babies. We probably have 4 that wear them right now, and I would say by February that would probably triple. And as we get closer to the qualifiers, we can take them off, right? Many times we do. But I will not hesitate to put them on. If the horses are getting really hot and really hard to handle, that will be my go-to. Some people might say, I change the bit or use a mini bit. I just like to circumvent the whole process. I'm going to go right to his snake cord, and not one of those stupid rubber ones that are good for the dogs to chew on. I don't even love the yellow ones. Nice wire snake cord is exactly where I'd like to aim. And people might say, oh, that's a little severe. Not really. Not at all. We're trying to teach them stuff. The first thing that they need to learn is how to behave on the track. And the What the Hills, I've told you, the one thing I've learned about the What the Hills is I like keeping them on a short leash. If they're hot, they get gelded. And if they remain hot, or if they're fillies, in this case, because I know on Thursday or on Wednesday when you went to jog her, it didn't look like you had a lot of fun with Freedom Hill on Wednesday. I could be wrong. Is that correct, David? You remember who Tuesday? She's a little warm on Tuesday, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
That was 2 days off, though.
Yeah,
So-
she's been like that. So we had put the rope snake cord on her, which is not my go-to, but
So she did wear it the other day?
she wore it yesterday, and Eric said, I said, how was she? He said, she's perfect. What was she supposed to do? I said, be a runaway? He said, no, she was a sweetheart. I said, probably that yellow thing hanging out of her mouth helped. And he goes, oh, yeah. So she had a rope snake cord on Thursday, and she was an absolute princess, which is exactly how most of them, I would say 90 to 95% of them are when you put it on them. It just, there's a line in the sand drawn, and most of them get it right away. They're like, all right, you win. So, Freedom Hill, I thought she looked great. Eric loved her, and she's much better with the snake cord on. What do we got next? Gaslight Hall, I know when he was in Ohio, had a fantastic gait. Danny thought he was dogging it a bit in Ontario. We castrated him. He said he's been great ever since. In fact, he recommended castrating Chicago Hall, which I'm not going to veto. I don't go with him. Danny does. But I want to see how he is tomorrow. I will let you know exactly what I think of Chicago Hall and any situation, castrating him or any changes that need made. But after talking to Danny quite extensively about Chicago Hall, I'm pretty confident Danny's going to see a much different Chicago Hall come tomorrow. We'll see. Gorgeous Package continues to do her work well. Small filly. We didn't pay a lot of money for her. She's a lather up. Chris Lems loved her, by the way, when he went with her in the open house, and she looked good again for Eric on Thursday. He liked her also. Grand old chap. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, hey, listen, there's two things I can really tell you, honest to God truth. There's nothing I can do for grand old chap. Somebody said, well, do you think we could send him to Aki's Fonstead? Well, it's a fair question. Is Aki's horse sell trot? I get it. It's a fair question. But no, this is a horse that just needs time. He's a baby. Just needs time. As I said, there is no physical, and it's not mental. This horse has got a wonderful attitude, and he'll go out and work all morning long, galloping around. He come in, have a bath, hit his ears up. He's not doing it to be rude. He just has not caught the gate yet. And I've talked to the vet about it. What could it be? Is there something I'm missing here? And there's nothing really there to talk about. So between his good attitude, his good work ethic, and the fact that he's a well-bred trotter, I suspect at some point he'll hit the trot. And I know that's probably not what a lot of my partners want to hear, but just relax. We'll defer this. If I'm still saying the same thing in April, all right, okay, it's time for a different conversation. It's January. Let's just relax. Green Glitter, I can see the big girl coming.
Grand Slam.
Oh, Grand Slam Dio. Now, Grand Slam Dio was kicking, you guys saw. She unloaded on Scotty on open house day. Kicked a couple of times, pretty good. And she's been known to do it. I went with her the last 3 days, and she's been perfectly fine. I think when she goes to kick, she's not surprising you. It's not like she just out of the blue kicks. You can see her tighten her butt up. And then she'll fire. Well, when I see her start to tighten her butt up, I just kind of shake the lines at her and kind of growl at her, and she took right off. She knew, no, don't do that. And when it came to Grand Slam Dio, she hasn't kicked. I went there the last 3 days, never kicked once. Jason was going to go with her today, and I told him the same thing. Just keep an eye on her. We got to put a switching grouper on her and the other filly also. But when you see her start to do that, it's obvious. It's there. If you're paying attention and you're looking, she doesn't do anything surprising. She gives you fair warning that she's about to open fire. You just have to be attentive. And I had no problems with Grand Slam Dio all week. Made a break down the lane training, but she's going to get better and better. I know exactly what she's doing. She's just a little hesitant to stretch out when it came to the speed. It's just going to take time and work, but just a sweetheart of a filly on the track today. Or yesterday.
Green glitter.
Green glitter. She's a bit of a monster.
She ran yesterday.
Yeah, I know Jason didn't want to talk about it. I looked back and he had her on the run.
But it caught right back.
Yes. I told him put her on a helmet and leave her alone. And he was trying to be cute. He was out there just kind of dogging it. She got a little hot and a little pacey and run. I know exactly what she did. I didn't want to bring it up because I know the filly, but she's perfect after that. Put her on a helmet and she'll come screaming. She understands her job more than most of those horses right now. She's a very, very smart filly and a very talented filly also. Gymboree has been good. Who won? Did she go yesterday or today?
Was it good?
She didn't go this morning, I don't think. She might have been a little sick. She'll go on Monday either way. I am certainly not worried about Gymboree. All three of those Jim Hensley fillies do the work very, very well. I've been very happy with them. Who's next? He's a Great Guy?
Yes. Oh, I went with him today.
That's correct.
He was, it's the first time I sat behind him, actually.
I haven't gone with him more than once, maybe.
He's a lot bigger than I thought
He's
he
a
was.
big boy.
He fills in the whole...
Yes, he's going to be a very... But you know what? The difference, you look at a horse like No Chance in Hill, he injured himself last year. Still fighting some aches and pains, nothing serious, and we're just being careful with him. But he hits the ground like a big, heavy horse. Like he is a big boy. What am I looking at?
She was on set 1 yesterday.
Who went with her?
Joey.
Oh, I didn't know that. So she went then. Joey went with all the sets yesterday. Yeah. Okay. So Gymboree did go.
So Gymboree went yesterday. No, Thursday.
Thursday,
What
yeah.
day is it?
Yesterday. Yeah, we trained today and yesterday. Yeah, he's a great guy. No Chance in Hill is a big, heavy horse that hits the ground heavy, but he's a great guy. He's a giant horse that hits the ground.
LT Troubadour is a giant horse.
No, LT Troubadour is a big, strong animal. Looks like a Clydesdale, as somebody put in the wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The dryer.
he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a big horse that hits the ground very lightly for a big, heavy horse. He's a nice colt. I like this guy a lot. Who's next? High Hopes. You also went with High Hopes. Now, I was waiting for you to say something might be wrong with her because all she wears is an open bridle. Eventually, they start hearing voices. Oh, there's the exit. Don't miss your exit. Oh, there's the outside. Why don't we get to the outside? Just stupid baby things. It's very rare that you see a baby trained down with an open bridle on. It takes a very focused, attentive, and hard-working young horse to do that. And we've had the open bridle on her because she had a bad attitude at the start. Now, her attitude's not bad, but I didn't think it was going to last forever. She could wear an open bridle. We'll slide a closed bridle onto her Monday, and I think you're going to see a much, much different High Hopes. She was acting up on Amy that day. Not doing anything horribly bad, just doing all the stupid things that babies do. She checked all the boxes the other day, and you'll see a much different High Hopes on Monday. I can guarantee you that.
I don't play nice.
Joey, come up. Did I tell you this?
Yeah, so he was behind me. I had Foxy Seaside.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get her pulled up, but he was right on eating my helmet.
Yes.
And you guys were all slowing up to pull up, and I was like, who is behind me? And it was him.
Yeah, he comes up and he goes, who's that horse? I said, that's a Long Tom out of Muscle Chrome. You don't know Muscle Chrome, but she was not a terribly gifted animal. But she wanted to be. The thing I loved about Muscle Chrome, one, she was pretty well, she was okay bred. But she literally thought she was a good horse. And she was a horrible animal. But thought she was a good horse. Every day it was shocking to her that she got defeated and she never won a race. But she loved her work. And I don't know how it happened, but we bred her to Long Tom, and everybody keeps telling me that's almost an inbred horse. That's really tight. I have some people that you'll hear this and people say, no, that's not bad at all. Doesn't matter, it's done. So we got a Long Tom colt, a Long Tom filly, and then we moved away from the Long Tom last year to, I can't remember the horse's name. No, it's not Quattro de Julio. That was the other horse. This was the one that was down around Midland Acres. My Jazz is Quattro de Julio. Centurion AM. Top marks to Amy. I can never remember that. So the Centurion AM is who the foal in Muscle Chrome's belly is. And I had asked Midland Acres, listen, can we breed the horse back to Long Tom? I don't care if it's inbred or not. That colt is a monster. He is very, very nice. I went with him before we went to Costa Rica. I told you.
So the baby on the ground's also a long
It's a filly. This is a colt.
Filly.
And I told you before we went to Costa Rica, this might be the best horse we have so far. Now it's early, it's January, but he is so fast and so strong. Doesn't wear a boot. Nothing. So Joey comes up and he wanted to hear the whole story on the horse, where we got it from. Us. It's homebred. It's the whole story. So it's just an inbred Long Tom and a Muscle Chrome, and it can dance. Perfect conformation, well put together. He was a little bad at the start, so we did castrate him, but he's just a very, very nice horse now, and he was very, very good yesterday. I can assure you of that. Moving on. I'm a trucker. Just does his work well. He had those OCDs out of his hocks when we got him. He's fine. He'll get it. In the open house day, I think he stayed at it right through the wire. Got a little tired. It was the first time with the hobbles on. Hey, down. First time with the hobbles on, but I was happy with what I saw. Again, he's a Michigan horse. He has to be ready for July, something like that. He's fine. I'm happy with him and the other colt. Moving on. I'm ready too. Was good. I think he needs shot. It looked a little off to me right front the other day, and again, I'm almost positive it was just that shoe. Again, it's not. They're not going lame this time of year, so I'm not really that worried. Jason went with him. Said he was good. He said hanging on the right line a little bit. I said I think he might have a little bruise in that right front foot. We'll get that taken care of right away. So I'm ready too. The other Marseille colt. You like Cadu, who's a Marseille. Everybody loves Cadu. This is. I'm ready too. I like him too. Next, Leggy.
I saw her.
The fuzzy panda. Jason got away. She looks like a fuzzy panda. She looks like a big fur ball. And she's a nice filly. She's, to
she
be
made
around.
a break, but I just think she needs to.
The problem was Jason went out, jogged her slow, turned her the right way, sat 2 lengths behind everybody, and she made a break at the back. Need to get her up in the action, thaw her out, and let her trot. Trot's nice. She's a nice filly. LT Troubadour. Who? Joey went with him. I didn't see what he did.
He went today. What set was that? The last set?
I'm not sure. I know I saw him out in the track jogging. He looks great. LT Troubadour literally looks like a transport truck that they turned into a horse.
Yeah, he was in the last set.
He is a big, big boy. Oh, I made a break with Captain Incredible.
And then I made a break.
Right. No, you're not blaming me.
Yeah,
No, you're going to get no passes this year. Can't say, oh, you swatted your horse or yelled at your horse and made a break and you scared my horse.
That's
no,
100% what happened.
I'm not accepting it anymore. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Wow.
So, LT Troubadour, I think he went good. He looks so nice on the track. He's got such a strong gait. Beautiful, beautiful way of going, and everybody that sits behind LT Troubadour likes it. Did you go with him yet? LT Troubadour?
I've only jogged him. I've never trained him.
No, he's a nice horse.
We haven't trained him.
No, not really. Who's next?
Manhattan Money.
Manhattan Money looked good. That was the one that Jason Merriman was on the front with. Got a little stupid. You were in, that was yesterday. You came by him coming past the 3/8. He was in the 2-hole, and then I moved whatever horse I had.
First set.
Yeah, he's a nice colt, that colt. He's very green and very, very skittish. And he's got
hobbles on?
No.
Really?
No. He's got a little streak in him too, and he'll hurt you. That's the guy that bruised my eye and my. He struck at me. I should have known better. Struck Jason. He's got Jason in the chest. He got me in the face. But we've since castrated him, and now I think he's a little more comfortable in the surroundings. I haven't heard anybody have any troubles with him. They sponge his head off still. They're a little shy about spraying his head. I know that, but he's getting better every single week, and he is a likable horse on the track. He's got a nice game. Next, Melisandre's good. She got a little curb left hind that came up. We crowded. It went down. It's kind of weird. It does bother her a little bit. I had asked the vet to have a look at it. There's not much you can do. We did blister it today, so there's no point looking at it until Wednesday. She will go Monday. I don't think it's something we need to stop what we're doing right now. It's just something we need to keep an eye on. So Melisandre looks beautiful on the track. You guys saw her on open house day. She looked great. She continues to look very, very good. I'm always happy with Melisandre. Do you want to add anything to Melisandre? She did look good on the track day too. I watched him jog her the whole time. She was perfect. Memento Mori, Jason told me is the fastest horse we have in the barn. He said, but that's another one with the rope snake cord and a little hood, but no. I said to Gloria, we're going to put a closed bridle, a snake cord, a wire snake cord that fits him, not one of the long ones that are useless that are just on there for show. A normal snake cord with an ear hood, and Maury will behave. The day I went with him, he was great. He just got away from me because he wants to do his work so well. But Jason said, quite frankly, he's the fastest horse we have. I said, maybe. There's no point in arguing about it.
You said that before.
He's super
You
fast.
said that.
I said he was the fastest at the time, but I've gone with...
It was like right before the open.
I'm not sure anybody wants any piece of green right now. There's maybe 5 or 6 that we could go much faster with, but there's no need to. Literally, we could fill an open trot at Northfield, no problem, right now, for sure.
Mountaineer Prince.
Nice colt, look good again today. They got to get a birch bit or something in his mouth. He just lays right on his head check. I saw there's one
I
on the
noticed
microwave,
that.
and I asked Emily to pull up all the check bits and birch bits that we have at the training center. I know there's a whole giant bucket of them. They're coming back to Ohio because there's a couple of horses need a birch bit, and Mountain View Mountaineer Prince is one of them. Doesn't do anything wrong. What happens is they just lay on the head check. You can't teach them anything when they're not focusing. When they're focusing on doing something wrong, that means they can't possibly do it right, do anything right at that point. So you need to chip away at those bad habits, and laying on the head check is one for Mountaineer Prince. Trots beautifully. No one would ever have a concern with him, but I do see what he's doing on the track, and we got to nip that in the bud right now. Have you gone with him yet, Mountaineer Prince?
I jogged him on Tuesday.
Very nice gait.
I thought he was on.
Oh, Jason didn't tell me anything about a line. He just said he went to tell
I
me.
try not to judge them, but they've been on.
Well, we still want to know. But yes, I don't have any problems with any ones that I went with, for sure.
My Wicked Heart.
My Wicked Heart, again, is here. We'll see her tomorrow. She wasn't pacing when she left Ohio, and she's pacing great now. That's all I can tell
I'm not
everybody.
shocked. She's
Beautiful gait.
sweetheart.
She must be very well bred, because every week, 2 or 3 times a week, I'll get an email from somebody saying, how did you get My Wicked Heart for so little amount of money? And I just said,
By accident.
by accident. It was just the way it worked out. Yeah, she's very well bred and a good looking filly, and she has a wonderful attitude for a shadow play. I can't really tell you much
She's not
about
a shadow play.
who's she by.
She's a McWicked.
My Wicked Heart is? Who am I getting her mixed up with? Cleveland Marshall. I'm sorry. But My Wicked Heart is a McWicked. You're right. That's how we got her for no money.
Yes.
She's a McWicked. And I'm not going to judge any sires on first crops, but McWicked did not have a fantastic 2-year-old season, and that's exactly how we ended up with this small McWicked filly selling late in the Harrisburg sale. That alone, paragraph right there, should tell you how we got her for very little money. Very little amount of money.
Oh, we're not going to tell the real story.
No.
Okay.
Who's next?
Never Lose Felix.
Never Lose Felix is good. Typical international money, stands off a little bit. Looks like he might get to his knees a tiny bit. Austral did once in a while. Everybody did. Carter Michael Dio, Spitfire overseas. They don't really wear knee boots, but once in a while we will slide them onto them because they are trotting a little bit closer. Spitfire had wore them for a little while, hasn't wore them in a while, I believe. Carter Michael Dio didn't wear them, and we don't need to train him. Now, when you train him, you don't need them on. But Dominic said going fast, once in a while, he'll leave a mark on a knee.
I remember when he did that as a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
We had them by like 12.
On the front end, yeah, that's right. So, Felix, again, a horse that may need knee boots, but again, it's got the typical international money look to him. I like this colt. I haven't had a chance to go with him very much. Have you gone with him? Eric went with him yesterday.
No, I've never gone with him.
Yeah, Eric went with him yesterday. You try to find. Who's next?
Officer Soldier.
I don't know anything about Officer Soldier Boy. How'd you know?
Oh, it's
He's
a
on the list?
McWicked.
He's on that list?
Yeah.
Oh, he should be on the master list then. That's weird. That's Brenda's colt. I don't know anything about him. We'll see tomorrow. He's as new to me as he is to you.
Oh, he'll know.
Oh, he'll know. Everybody keeps saying she goes good, but I see she was way back today. She run. Yeah, maybe I'll try and go with her on Monday. You got a sweet gait to her.
She runs. The one day I went with her, she's going along perfectly fine, and then she just rolls off.
So she sounds like she's touching herself.
But she had boots on today because it's the first thing.
Just because she has boots on doesn't mean she won't
run.
run when she touches.
I think she's just hating.
So we'll get a look at her on Monday. Pelican Al is next. This horse looks good. Very steady on the track. He's going to need a lot of work. You can hear him on the other side of the racetrack squealing and roaring. Does he need to be a stud? No. I mean, he is Charlie May's brother, so I'll give him some slack.
Charlie May's brother, Charlie May, is not a stud.
No, he's not. That doesn't
I
mean
also
anything.
think that he was no good until he
Really? You just think that?
No, I
Just
heard
called up Steve
someone-
Carter and said, "Hey,
I
Steve,
heard
can you give me a little
someone say
lowdown on
that.
Charlie May?"
I heard someone say that.
You heard someone say that.
I don't know who.
Do
Maybe
you have
it's your
any-
brother.
My brother. Which one? The one that lives in New York, nowhere near Charlie May, or the one that lives in Ontario,
No,
nowhere
maybe
near Charlie May? Doesn't matter. He's not going to be gelded just yet. What do we got next? Pace is nice. Looked great training today, by the way. Looked very good. You were right beside him finishing
Yeah,
out.
I beat him. Okay.
You beat him.
I beat him with a trotter.
Who'd you beat him with? Canoe. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you looked good.
Actually,
Moving along.
it's
We got 11
only-
minutes left.
it's only because he was on the front and he was being green.
Yeah.
It's the only reason.
It's all right. You're really slowing us down.
Princess Dream.
Princess Dream. I don't have to tell you, she's a sweetheart. Every single person that has laid a brush or a hand on her since we bought her has told us how nice she is, and I truly believe that. Also, I went with her a little bit before. I didn't train her. I went with her a little bit before we sent her back home, and she is a slick-gated, sweet little filly. Very, very much like Princess Dream.
Resolve indeed.
Resolve indeed. I liked her when she was here.
Me too.
Right, we had that OCD out of her, and we sent her home. So I haven't seen her since. I'm very curious to see how she looks. I'm very curious to see how she looks when I see her tomorrow.
Yeah, Rose Run AJ.
Rose Run AJ looked amazing in the open house. That's the horse that Scotty won the set with. We both made breaks, and he shot through the middle of us. He looked very, very good, and looked good on the track today. I haven't gone with him myself, but nobody said a bad word about Rose Run AJ.
Rose Run Alexander.
Rose Run Alexander is very skittish, right? A lot of the dancing Yankees are all the ones we've ever had have been. I saw her today when the tractor was out there. He had a tough time getting her around the tractor. She was acting up. She was looking at everything. I just don't want to spark this filly up, because that's the other thing about the dancing Yankees. When they flip it into gear, it's really hard to control them. So we're doing our best to teach her to see everything and stay calm, not get wound up, but start training down well. We're going to try and stay in front of her, because she is an incredibly talented filly. She looks like she is, the world could be her oyster if she wanted it to be. We just have to wait and see how Rose Run Alexander is going to train down. But very green, very skittish, but appears to have all the talent in the world. Rosetta can fly. That was the one he cut loose on the front the other day. Joey made front, just dropped the hammer on everybody. Rosetta can fly. It's a nice filly. This is the Walner filly, sister to Green Tea, who is back with us now, by the way. And she is training very, very good.
She sits at the bar.
She sits at the bar. Amy said that she was acting up, and I told her, when you're away and you break up their rhythm, when you break up their regimen, sometimes horses can get bad habits and can revert back to some habits that you thought you broke. And she sits at the bar, was acting up and striking and just being ignorant to people. And I'm 6 feet tall. I went in and grabbed her by the halter today and put her on the cross ties, and I yelled at her once. She stood there and behaved, went out in the track, and Amy trained her, and
I like her on the track.
she was great. Very, very nice filly. She's got a beautiful future in front of her, I think. Typical bar hopping. We've had a number of them now. We've had very good luck with them. Typical bar hopping, but she does have lots of... Yeah? Done the video? Probably in about 6 minutes, honey. Is that okay? So, really pleased when she sits at the bar. I think this... we're very fortunate to get this filly. Her brother, her only other sibling, I believe, but definitely her brother, Volume 8, is standing stud at Hanover right now. Southwind Idex, got a big splint right front, bites that right line. You saw it in the open house. We blistered it a couple of times. It's ready to cryo now. We'll get Mike to freeze that. What was I trying to say?
I don't know.
Freeze fire. The old horseman used to say. Freeze that. We'll cryo that this week, and I'm sure it won't be a problem again. Got a nice gait also. The fact that he never runs, and I know that splint's bothering him. The fact that he never runs is feather in his cap. He's got the right work ethic, but we do got to help him out and get that splint cryo.
Oh wait,
Speed of sound. I went with her the other day. She did make a break on me late in the stretch, but she's such a sweetheart. I like this filly. She's got such a nice gait. You know what she reminds me of? Only because I know the sire and I know the story, and we went through the same thing with this filly as the good filly, right? Tactical Mountains. She had that big long gait. She'd roll off sometimes when we train her down. Wore hobbles as a 2-year-old. They didn't need them anymore. Now, please understand what I just said. I'm not trying to tell you that the filly that went in 52 and made $300,000 this year reminds me a lot of Speed of Sound. That's unfair. What I'm saying is, as a 2-year-old, they had similar gaits, similar attributes, similar ways about doing things, and similar ways of making mistakes. So I love Speed of Sound. I think she's going to be a nice filly for us, and very happy with what I've seen from her so far.
The Priest was sick. So.
The Priest was sick. He's a bit of a booger so far too, and causing some trouble in the barn. Because I know that Callie, right? Callie, the caretaker, she does a great job, and she actually said she wanted to trade this guy out. So he must be kind of rough with her a little bit. I don't really know what's going on with him. I don't see him doing anything wrong in the barn or on the track, but if Callie's saying that she'd rather trade out for a different horse, must be a bit of a boob in the barn. Not dirty. I don't think there's been anything said of him being dirty. And I know that this is the one horse that caught Scotty's eye quite a bit more than all the other ones on open house day was this guy.
Trevino.
Trevino on green, I think is a great horse. Great. I was going to say great name, but not a great name. Trevino on the green, great name. Too many letters. Nice colt. Again, you guys know the story behind this guy. We were kind of forced into buying him. This is Swinging Senorita's brother. He's a big, strong, beautiful colt by Green Manalishi, and he just simply went for too much money. If you are value shopping, like we do, every horse has a price. The price I probably would have bought him at was much higher than that. There was zero hesitation at that price. I really liked him. And Addie, are you having a little play back there?
It says Australia.
For Dominion. Yeah, I don't know why he's not Australian. He has no home. He's a FaceTime Bourbon.
Oh, maybe that's why.
He's not Australian. So when it comes to who are we on again?
Sorry.
Trevino on green, big, strong colt. I'm going with him right tomorrow. Can't wait to see him. He's a nice colt. Wander Hill, I like. Makes breaks, a little soft gait to him. Hits the ground a little soft. This is a type of horse where I think once he starts to get really strong in April, you're going to see him really come on in a big way. Until then, he's going to make mistakes. He made one today. He might make one Monday. But he does want to do his work and come forward, and I like that about him. So I'll go to bat for him. I'm not really that worried about the breaks, but you are going to see some breaks from this guy throughout the winter into the spring. But I think it will all mesh together very, very nicely around April when we start going a little quicker with him. Westland Warrior. He ran away with you the other day, so starting to be a little studdy. I didn't see it in the barn today. I didn't see it on the track today, but I did have a rope snake cord on him. That was the one they put on, and I wasn't going to change it, so I left it. He was perfect. He did nothing wrong. Addie. I don't mind if you play dolls, honey, but just wait until I'm done my show. What's that girl's name? Stacy? How'd you come up with Stacy? Oh, because you watched it before. Okay. So Westland Warrior was perfect day, but Amy said he was really hot when she went with him. In the mile, when he was focused on his work, he is a machine. He would be in the open trot for sure. For us, when I'm talking about him. But he was good today. Just remember when I told you, you break up
by yourself.
I know, and he did nothing wrong.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, when you break up the routines, the voices start to creep in, and you see it with all of them. But when they're on that Wednesday, Saturday, or Tuesday, Friday, or twice a week, however you train them, when they're on that schedule and it is locked in, and they know what day it is and what day it is to work, and they do, you see totally different horses. But Westland Warrior, again, jumped on top of a girl the other day. He's going to be castrated tomorrow. He's a Father Patrick, and again, one of those short leash shires, just like What the Hill. There might be some people email me and say, I don't understand what you mean. When they start to turn that corner where they get a little ignorant or rude, it's hard to get them back. So what I mean is, where you might see another sire, like International Money, right? I'll give them a long berth because they're workers. They go out and do their work. Whereas you might see a Father Patrick or What the Hill. The What the Hills, when they start to get hot, it's almost too late. There's not much you can do. Right, the Freedom Hill thing, we nip that in the bud right now. But when it comes to the Bluebird Tuxedos and those horses, if the second I see them getting hot, I'm going to nip it in the bud because I let that go the first year with the What the Hills. I didn't like how it turned out. They were very ornery and hard to deal with for the entire 2, maybe even 3-year-old season. And then when it comes to the Father Patrick's, they get a little cranky. It's really hard to get that dirt out of them sometimes. So Westland Warrior, I didn't see it today, but I won't put up with him acting out and striking out at our grooms in the cross ties in the burn. So he will be castrated on Saturday.
What a lady,
what a lady, what a night. What's that one by?
Lou's Legacy.
Lou's Legacy. The other one is the other New Illinois sire, right? No, it's not Lou. It's Lindy's True Grit. The Lou's Legacy filly. Again, all reports I've got from Jim and from Danny, both in Illinois and Canada, are all good across the board from our horses. No, the only concern that was raised was Chicago Hall maybe being castrated or whatnot, but no concerns. Who's next? Yves St. Kemp is good. Had a little sickness last week. He just jogged this week. You may actually not see him on Monday. We'll see. Who's that? That's it? So that is your list. Look, we have 51 minutes of video left, and it's at 51 minutes. I'm going to lose you in 30 seconds, so I will end this video by saying this. Very happy with the way the 2-year-olds look on both sides of the border in all the jurisdictions we have. Very happy with the way they're behaving and the way that they're doing their work, and I can't wait to see how things are going to look. Monday, you're going to see some of those bad habits dissipate on Monday, and I'm interested to see how things look tomorrow in Ontario. So I hope you had a great week, a great day. I'll talk to you all very soon. Tune into the drones and the videos on Saturday and Monday. Take care.